So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom and I'm back on the test server, the 9.21 test server to be precise. So this is the first iteration, so be aware any details that I spread here are based around the current iteration of the test server. Very likely that some of these new tanks will be amended before they go live for real, or even by the second version of the test server before the actual patch comes in sometime December. Anyway, enough kerfuffle and covering arse. Apart from the Badger, the awesome Badger, which is bound to get nerfed, it just is so good. The other thing that's coming in with this new patch is a new French heavy tank line, and this is the Allez. So here we go. You will come out of the AMX M445 and have two options. You can either head down the current heavy line, which is the AMX 5100s, the 5120 and the 50B, all auto-loading heavy tanks, support tanks, or you head up through this new tech tree line, which is the AMX 65T, the AMX M451, the M454. Now, the kind of model that these tanks follow is basically that of tanks with very good frontal armour and pretty good guns. So much more like the Liberté, the premium, this one, the premium tier 8 heavy tank that came out. What this was known for and is known for, very good frontal armour, very good. And that's basically what this new tech tree line is similar to, so as opposed to the auto-loading variants. So let's just have a quick look at some of these, shall we? So this is the tier 8, the AMX 65 ton. Odd looking thing, isn't it? Looks like something out of a, I don't know, Doctor Who film or something, I don't know. Still got a bit of a beak there. Now it is, let me go and have a look in the research. I think all these tanks are fake. Just have a double check. A heavy tank design proposed by AMX company in 1950, developed alongside the AMX 5100, was supposed to feature reinforced armour with a pike nose and sloped armour plates. Other components and hull configuration resembled the Royal Tiger, existed only in blueprints. Fake, I hear you say, because it is. So it's a big old grind by the look of it. You extra tracks, extra engines, you've got 1, 2, 3 guns and 2 turrets. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a faff getting through this one, but is it worth it? And its full configuration, and bear in mind all these stats are with no crew attached and no equipment yet. So the top gun is a 120mm gun, 4.35 rounds per minute. 128 millimeters of standard penetration with AP rounds, and 325 with APCR, 65 with HE, 400 average damage. The HE is pretty disappointing at 515. So APCR seems the way to go on this thing. 0.36 dispersion, put my teeth back in, and 2.7 aim time. So not the best, but it's okay. Other guns available on this, what else you got? The 100mm, which is 6.45 rounds per minute, better penetration, 232 penetration, only 263 with premium rounds. So the premium is pretty rubbish actually. And 300 average damage, so 0.34 dispersion and 3 aim time. So you get a lot more pen with the second gun than you do with the top gun, unless you choose to use premium rounds. That seems an odd thing to do. And what else they got? The base gun is, yeah, it's the 90mm that you're used to from the AMX 45 M445, pretty much identical gun. In fact, it is the identical gun. So the two choices are basically the 100mm or the 120mm. I've put the 120 on it for the moment, purely because Alpha's king. But I'm thinking actually that extra two. What's my maths? 14 millimeters penetration is quite useful. Anyway, let's stick with 120 to start with. What does that give us in terms of DPM and everything else? Well, it's pretty lousy actually. 1800 DPM, 1814 DPM. It's pretty crappy actually. This gun depression is slightly disappointing at -8. Turret traverse of 27.12. Yeah, not the best gun as far as I can see. But maybe the armor's going to be something special. And that does look pretty good actually. So 1550 hit points. Hull armor is 100 millimeters. Now it's pretty. There's quite good angling there, and also with this ridge line you're going to get a lot of deflections off front there. I think that's going to be pretty useful. 80 at the side, 60 at the rear. Turret armor 250. Slightly more flat faced, isn't it? So it's quite good armor, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see also whether these cupolas up here are easily penned or not. So 250 front of the turret, 80 at the side, 60 at the rear. So that's not too bad armor wise. That's not too bad. It weighs 65 tons, engine power of 1100, 16.92 power ratio is nothing special. 40 top speed, which is pretty reasonable actually, and 15 in reverse, and 26.08 traverse speed. So yeah, it's going to be okay. Fairly nimble. Concealment, well, forget that. It's a big heavy tank. Spotting range, base view range is 370, and signal 782. Now crew wise, does it take the same crew configuration? It does. So it has the same crew configuration as the Liberté. So if you got a Liberté, this thing's going to be really good for well, you can use the Liberté to train up the crew for this heavy tank line. Right, let's stick some crew on it, see if there's anybody playing tier 8 on the test server. Okay, so there we go. I've moved a crew across. It's a pretty good crew. They're on their 3rd skills, well, apart from the loader. So be conscious of that when you see the performance, because obviously that will help it. They have also got full brothers in arms on that crew. But gun rammer, vertical stabilizers is mountable on this, which is always a good thing. I think plus 20% to accuracy doing movement and turret rotation. Very, very useful. And ventilations, because that helps all the skills by 5%. So what's that done to our firepower? DPM is crept up to 2107, which is respectable, I guess. Accuracy 0.33 and aim time of 2.48. So okay. Let's take it out, see if we can get a game. Okay, so Westfield tier 10 game, which is far from ideal, but let's give it a go, see what we can do. First time I tried it, so gets away reasonably smartly actually. It's an odd looking beast, isn't it? This is the test server, so you have to be a little bit circumspect about your reviews of these vehicles, because everyone's firing gold because they can. Oh shoot. Spotted, couldn't get my gun down. That's where that got pretty poor gun depression did not help. Can't get my gun down then. There you go, APCR straight away. Oh, the radical is a bit nasty. aim time is pretty poor. There's more tanks out there. TD at the back there. Well, this gun depression is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, look at the aim time's pretty lousy as well. Or just smacked me one. I did ignore him, to be honest. He's looking at me, I don't want to be shot by him. He's on fire. Oh, missed him. He's down. So gun depression is not great. Aim time is very, very slow. The gun is actually pretty good. Armour didn't seem to do an awful lot for me. I like the mobility. That's kind of fun. It's a fairly movable heavy tank. 1400 damage. I mean, it was all support work. If I'd had gun depression, that would have been awesome on that hill. But no gun depression. Well, not enough to really make a difference. Where's that leopard gone? Oh, he's down there. No, he's dead. He's going to be dead before anybody else gets a shot. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, there you go. That was the tier 8 French heavy tank. Pretty mobile. Armour, I suspect, will be reasonably okay, given the fact that, you know, you're probably going to not come up against so much premium usage as you do on the test server. But that's a third class. Finished second on the team, actually. 1422 damage, 1 kill, 817 base XP. 5 shots, 5 hits, 4 penetrations. 2 shots received, both of which penned, did 1300 assistance, made a profit of 14,000 and 1600 XP, bearing in mind you don't get a premium account. So yeah, it's not awful. I wouldn't say it's a keeper. That gun's pretty pokey though. It's not bad at all. 218 didn't seem an awful lot of pen, but if you can use it as a flanker in tier 10 games, that should be right. And if you hit the 2 key, 325 is very, very good penetration. Not that I'm saying it's pay to win or anything, but there you go, pay to win. Anyway, let's hop over to the next one, which is the tier 9. Where's that gone? There it is, there it is, there it is. Oh, that's pretty nice looking tank, isn't it? I like the look of that. This is the AMX M451. Pretty nice looking tank, I have to say. Let's have a look at its research tree. Again, lots of modules. They're not doing any favours. However, where's that? I had that gun automatically. Now, where's that come from? AMX 51. Okay, so that's your standard gun. That's your stock gun here. So you get a 120mm gun as standard. And it's not bad, actually. 5.36 rounds per minute. 257 pen. 325 with its APCR rounds. And 65 with HE. 400 average damage. 0.34 dispersion. An aim time of 2. So that's, as a stock gun, that's pretty pokey. So that looks quite useful. You then get the top gun, which is this 127mm, odd size, 127. Anyway, 4.51 rounds per minute. You lose some pen. That's weird. So your pen drops to 2.42. Even with the premium rounds, it goes to 2.58. And so you get an extra 70 pen, but you lose on dispersion and aim time. Wow, that's terrible. Why would you bother? Why would you bother? You get less rounds per minute, you get less penetration, you get worse aim time, worse dispersion for 70 extra mils, 70 extra average damage. Not worth it, I would say. Not worth it at all. Anyway, so yeah, extra set of tracks. There's 2 engines. You don't need this 127mm gun to get onto the tier 10, so that's good. So the stock gun looks actually pretty darn good, actually. Let's have a look at it in the flesh. I'm going to go back to the stock gun because to me that seems absolutely perfect. So let's look at its firepower. Remember, again, no crew in this. This is as it comes out the box. Well, fully upgraded anyway. Although, as I say, I haven't used the top gun. I'm using the stock gun because it looks better. So, turret traverse is very, very good. 29.2 is very quick. Gun depression is still a little disappointing at -8. Aim time, we've already talked about aim time. So I'm getting 2,235 DPM, which is okay, actually. That's all right. Survivability. 1,900 hit points, 180 hull armor. Now you haven't got the beak anymore, but you have got quite a well-angled frontal plate there. I don't know what the lower plate will be, but that's quite well angled too. So yeah, 180 is probably very good indeed. You're going to have these sort of shoulder blades here, a bit like the Liberté does, and you probably have to be careful about showing too much of those because if you angle like that to get a nice angle on your front plate, it means this is flat. And even if that's 180 is nothing for the sort of tanks you're going to be facing. So it looks like you have to keep this one pretty straight at the enemy or get a wall down here. So 180 at the front, 60 at the rear, 60 at the side, 40 at the rear. Turret is a whopping 300. Wow. And that does look like a massive gun mantle. Pretty small cupolas to aim for as well. So it's got Mickey Mouse ears by the look of it. 80 at the side of the turret and 40 at the rear of the turret. So armor looks very, very useful for this. I like the look of this tank. Mobility, it's 72.5 tons, 1,100 engine when fully upgraded, 15.16 power ratio. Is sort of reasonably fast heavy territory. 40 kpm top speed, 15 in reverse, and 29.2 hull traverse, which is also very good. So it looks to be fairly nimble. Don't know what the ground resistance is going to be like. Again, concealment, well, it's a heavy tank and it's quite a big one at that, so forget that. Spotting range 380 base is nice, and 782 signal range. So again, I'm going to equip this and we'll take it out. So there we go. Move the crew across from the 65 ton to this thing. I have to say, it's a good looking vehicle. I think it's a nice looking tank, this. So with that stock gun, which is still a tier 10 gun apparently, with this crew with rammer, vertical stabilizers and vents, brothers in arms on the crew, I'm now getting 2,500 average damage, dispersion 0.31, aim time of 1.83. So that's all pretty good. So let's take it out, see what we can do with it. Okay, so tier 10 game, 510 variant, Sacred Valley. Enemy have got 2 of those dastardly badgers platooned together. Oof. You saw my other video on the badger, you'll know it is a ridiculous tank. Absolutely, I love it. I can't see any conceivable way that they will implement it as it is in the game. It's just too good. Ridiculous DPM, fantastic armour, not even that slow. Just brilliant. As close to a OP tank as... Oh, there's nothing coming this way. Come on, people. I know it's test server, but come on. Bit of brains engaged. 249 got spotted me. I like the gun on this thing already. Reload's a bit slow, and aim time's a little bit on the slow side, but took the hit from the Centurion, then I gave myself where did he hit me? Don't know where he hit me. On the gun by the look of it. That's surprising, the amount of armour there is there. Gun is actually very, very good. Just quite slow to reload. I haven't fired a single... I know I'm hitting the side of enemy tanks, but... Come on, you want to try. You know you want to. Right, let's use this mobility. I'm really liking this Frenchie. This is fun. There's a few lag issues, but aim time's not the best. Ah, did get him. Thought I'd missed him there. It's been a very one-sided affair. I was surprised. I thought with those two badgers they might give us a few headaches, but they clearly didn't. Ah, missed. Not good for snapshots. Well, there you go, 2,000 damage just like that, easy peasy peasy. It's a lovely mobile heavy. I like this tank a lot. Got a bit of armour. Oh, I've been shot by our own Foch, nice. Nice bit of armour, but not overly so. Not so really dense the performance, but enough that you can block a few shots. So very nice. Third class, fire for effect. 2066 damage, 1 kill, 763 base XP, 8 shots, 6 hits, 6 pens. Took 1 hit. Well, that was from our own player. So, oh no, was that from our own player? Or so I did get hit from somebody else as well. Maybe I did. I forget now. Doesn't matter. Made 13,000 credits. Managed to get 3,000 compensation. So 10,000 basically. Without a premium count, so yeah, nice. Yeah, very nice indeed. I do like that tank. It's a nice looking tank, and it's a really nice tank to handle. It plays very much like the Liberté, but at tier 9. And that stock gun, I didn't even try out the other gun, I didn't feel I needed to. That extra pen, 257 pen, is really, really pokey. Really pokey, lemon spokey. I like that a lot. So, yeah. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This is the tier 10. Look at this bastard. So the odd one on this, slightly annoying thing with this, is that there is a second gun. So you don't, most tier 10s you get them fully unwrapped. This one, you get all the equipment, but it has 2 gun options. So let's have a quick look at the 2. So this is the stock, if you like, the one you get at the beginning. 120mm. Is that the same one as on the last? No, it's not. So this is 5.5 rounds per minute, 264 average penetration, 325 when you dub the skill key, 65 with high explosive, 400 average damage, 0.33 dispersion, and 1.8 aim time. So quite nice gun actually, as opposed to the very top gun, which is 130mm, extra 10 mils. Is it worth it? You get 3.8 rounds per minute, only 250 average damage, and 280 with skill rounds. Oh, it's not skill rounds, they're AP as well. Okay, 65 HE, 560 average damage, 640 with the HE. You lose a lot of dispersion, goes down to 0.35, and a lot of aim time, 2.2. So you're gaining 160 average damage, but losing 14mm penetration, and a lot more with your premium rounds. And you're losing a lot of rate of fire. Again, I think the stock gun's the better one to go with, looking at that. So that's what I'm going to do for the moment. Let's take that one. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's have a look at what that does. So firepower wise, with the base gun, we're getting, well, turret traverse is 33.38, which is excellent. Still only -8 gun depression, which could be a little bit more, but hey, what can you do? 2,297 damage per minute. It's okay. It's okay. Survivability, 2,200 hit points, which is pretty good. Hull armour is 220, which is very nice indeed. 60 at the side, 40 at the rear. Again, you've got these shoulder blades, so you're going to have to be a little bit careful of that. That lower plate looks very, very strong because it's so well angled. I don't know what the measurements are. We'll have to have a look when we can get into it. But that front plate is very, very powerful. 220, and look at the angling of that. Very, very nice. Turret again, like the last one, 300 at the front is very nice. In fact, the turret looks almost identical to the previous tier 9 version. 80 at the side and 40 at the rear, so very nice. Again, a good looking tank. I think that's important to me. I like to drive a good looking bird around. 80 tons, 1,200 horsepower engine, 15 power ratio, 40 top speed, and 33.38 hull traverse. So again, definitely the way with these French heavies is they have very good speed and good mobility. No concealment. I'm not even going to bother looking at that. Well, I will do. Hang on. 3.5, so forget that. And view range of 390 basic, which is nice as well. So again, let me equip it and we'll take it out. So tier 10 game, assault game on Corellia. We're defending. Blimey, no lights, no mediums, just TDs and heavies. Wow. 1, 2, 3 badgers. 2 ship barns. And a skillless Type 5 heavy on the enemy team. Wow. This could be challenging. I was just heading off the wrong way there for a minute. Right, let's see what we can do. See, this is impressively mobile, this heavy. They've got 2 on their team. So I'm going to almost take the place of a medium here. Hope I get some backup. definitely looks a bit jolty. It's not my ping or anything, or my frame rate. Something to do with the game. Must be server side, I think. Get up into this sort of position where I can influence things. Oh. Missed. Missed him. Try to hit his mudguard area. There you go, right through them. That was with the standard round too. I was debating whether to go for a heavy premium round there, but missed his lower plate. God's sake. Damn, I hit the wrong button. Whoa, that was a big hit from two of us there. You gonna try that again, boy? Branches has been hit above us. I'm going to turn around and see whether he can. Don't turn your gun away from me, sonny. Ah, I couldn't get. I was trying to fire his commander's cupola and missed. Just took too long to take the shot. Oh well, never mind. It's going to be a win, I think. Let's see what this guy does with his. There's another one somewhere. Where's he? Oh, there he is. Nicely done, sir. I bet that was a premium shell. Just the TDs left. Wow, that Badger took apart the Type 5 Heavy. Use your mobility, boy. The job of the Badger knows what you're doing. He's coming the other way to block you. Yep, there he is. Oof. Really? Wagons going round. Oh, now you're dead. I think we should close the curtains on this one, gentlemen. This is a little bit... Am I allowed to show that kind of thing on this channel? I don't know. Definitely before the watershed, that. Blimey. Let's see another badger getting it. It's a good tank, but... Go on, ram him! Style win! Oh, you idiot. Well, GG. It's a game. It's a win. It's a game. It's a win. You know what I mean. So that was a second class win. We got spotter and we got far for effect. Finished up, what's that, fourth on the fifth on the team. 2,326 damage, 1 kill, 931 base XP. Fired 10 shots, hit with 6, penned with... Fired 10 shots, hit with 6, penned with... fired 10 shots, hit with 8, penned with 6. Hooray! Got it right. Took 7 hits in return, 5 of which penned us. Not quite sure why so easily I was penned there, but hey. 1,000 assistance damage, 30,000 credits. Did lose credits though, but got some bonds. And finished up with 1,862 XP out of that game. So there you go. That's the quick look, very quick look at the incoming French heavy tank line. Again, as I said at the beginning, be aware that this is the first iteration of the test server. Things may well change. We do not know, and it may well change again before it actually gets implemented into the game. But my impression so far is the tier 8 is just nothing particularly, just to grind your way through as quickly as possible. But the 9 and 10 have got something. What they've got is mobility and a pretty good gun. Their reload time, aim time is a little bit depressing, but the guns are good, although it looks like the stock gun on both of them is the best gun to go for, in my book at least. But very, very nice and interesting tanks. Give you something a little bit different. Heavy tanks with a bit of mobility and a bit of frontal armour, which I think the game needs variance, and that's really what you want. You want different style of tanks to play, not to all be either big, thick, heavy, slow tanks or heavy tanks without any armour. This is a kind of mixture of the two, and I like it. I like it lots. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this quick run through. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about these French tanks. Have you got on the test server? Have you tried them out? What do you think? Are you going to enjoy these? As I say, I think I am. I'm going to be... I'm pleased I've already started on the tier 7 French heavy tank. Started back there, ready to unlock the tier 8 when the server comes into action, and I'm very pleased I have, because I'm going to enjoy the 9 and 10 very much indeed. Anyway, enjoy your games, have fun, try not to take it too seriously, and I will see you again soon. This is GamerDom signing out.